visit somebody right on my call. This is the moment you're meant to know.
Hello, hello, hello. I hope you had a wonderful day. But this is going to be our recap on Atlanta. I'm sorry we got here late. We had this, we had it. I'm gonna admit it. We had the end of spring bug. When the weather gets warm, you just get in the place where you just don't feel like recording, or you don't feel like going to work. You just want to hang out. Well, we've been in that mood, and it's been hard for us to kickstart ourselves and turn on the engine.
Yes.
But we did, right, baby Crone?
Yeah, we watched some good movies and TV series during
yes.
the break.
Oh, yes, we did. We'll talk about them. So, but nevertheless, just get into it. Before we get into it, let me tell you what I thought about. I thought it was boring.
It was.
I'm sick of this. I'm sick of it. I'm sick to death. I'm going to tell you what I don't like. Don't get me pumped up about them going to Grenada. It just seems like a ploy to get me coming back. I'm coming back anyway. So don't pump it up like it's going to be all that when I got to wait 2 weeks or another week to see it. Mm-hmm. Give me a little something. It was just all prep.
Yep, it was prep.
It was all like, this is what we're doing before we go.
Yes.
So go ahead on and talk about it, baby Crone, as I get some hair out my eye.
Okay, that's exactly what this episode was prepping to Grenada, because Britt, Kelly, and Shamia at the very beginning was collecting donations for was this donation for the Grenada trip?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting. However, of course,
did we see them get to Grenada? Yeah, they did, and made the commercial.
Mm-hmm. Of course, it would not be an episode without Britt making a complaint about something. And it was a complaint about how her event planner was trying to make her look bad. Okay, Britt, like you didn't make your own self look bad. Yeah. That's exactly how I felt. I couldn't even feel bad for her. I'm like, Brett, I'm sorry. I can't even feel bad for you.
It's just, to me, she's a chronic complainer.
Yes.
Nothing ever goes right. No, it's like she finds fault, but it just seems like she hardly takes fault. She doesn't own up to her fault. Her accountability, unless you own it. If you own it, then I'll own it. But just being accountable, like, you know what? We couldn't afford it. She's never going to say that. Mm-mm. I bit off more than I could chew. Say that. But just to say, come on, what that woman going to sue you for? Other than you owe her money.
Yes, and the country club money as well.
It's crazy.
It is.
Eating off of more than what you chew. Girl, stop it. She could have had that in her house.
She really could have.
I would have. I told you what I would have done. I would have, if it was just the girls, I would have just had a lingerie party.
Okay. Well, hers is more athletic wear, so I guess that's why she picked a country club, because that's supposed to be athletic. But golfing and athletic wear doesn't sound like it goes hand in hand.
She didn't have enough shoes for them, no place for them to if they do have a place at where you could get shoes or golf clubs where you can rent, they ain't had none of that. Girl, go ahead.
None of that.
Go ahead.
Zero.
If
only two of the girls went golfing. The rest of them didn't even go golfing, which was also
so tacky. That
was.
Anyway,
moving on. Of course, Britt then goes to ask Shamia about how Shamia and Drew is doing. I guess Britt quickly wanted to turn the drama off of herself and put it on to somebody else. Mm-hmm. And Shamia basically talked about how she had met with Portia. She just asked Shamia about how her and Drew is. Apparently, I forget everybody has a problem with somebody that I completely forget what is the beef between Drew and Shamia. I feel like,
but I think Drew got a problem with almost everybody.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, what does she have a problem with Shamia now? It's just like,
because no, I don't know. Was it something about a lap dog?
oh right, yes, calling her a lap dog. Yes,
that's what you call it called to Drew.
Mm-hmm.
And how did
Britt just wanted to know how did that blow over with her and Shamia?
Mm-hmm.
And Shamia basically says that it didn't go over well, but she's willing to try again and apologize if Drew's willing to own up to it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Fair enough. Later on, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually trying to read my notes here, right here up for a second.
It's been a day.
It has been a day.
Right, because today is Tuesday, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, today is Tuesday. Yes, it is Tuesday.
You can lose track of time and when the weather warm.
That is true. You really can. Okay, technically, I can't remember. I think Drew was talking to Cynthia. This was when they had finally got to Grenada. So before we get to that, on their way, everybody was prepping. They got to the airport. I think Drew was a little bit late because all the girls was just like, "Where's Drew?"
And from what I understand, I don't know, was it Phaedra or someone said Drew is always late. I don't know how true that is.
Yeah, well, she was late to the other.
But
trip.
I do know Shamira luggage got left behind.
Yes. Yeah. Yikes on that one. So when all the girls arrived there, they got set into their different groups.
I mean, that wouldn't be a big deal for me because if I'm going to Grenada, there's got to be a place where I can go buy me some clothes or something for that night.
That's true. I mean, Shamia did have a change of outfit. I'm not sure if that's what she
right, but she said that's what she carries with her. But I'm sure with that kind of money, you could always go pick out something to hold you over.
Yeah, that's true. But I get it. When you pack clothes and you want to wear specific outfits, it is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it's true that.
Mm-hmm. So Drew is sitting down talking to Cynthia, saying that she brings up the fact that she found out, she's now upset because she found out that Portia had filmed with Ralph, and she doesn't understand why Portia's mad at her for filming with Dennis.
Well, actually, Drew is a little offended by it.
Mm-hmm. She's offended by it. Cynthia was just like, "You guys are pretty much even. You filmed with each other's exes."
Yeah. And your ex brought, not ex, but your wannabe divorced husband one day soon, he brought them food.
Yes.
I don't think that he was anticipating Portia.
No.
She just was, Shamia did that.
Yes, because she said she didn't want to be seen alone with Ralph. So she was
she brought up all people. She could have brought anybody. She could have brought Michelle. Is that her name?
Angela?
No, she could have brought, not Angela. What's the other one?
Kelly.
She could have brought Kelly, but she was being messy.
She was messy with that one.
That was messy. That's messy boots. That's what she was being. Say what you want. I was born last night, but it wasn't last night.
Okay, he was born at night.
Yeah, I was born that night, but it wasn't last night. Mm-hmm.
However, Drew is actually... Now, this is when Drew and Portia had meet to go eat food. So this was before she had a conversation with Cynthia. Mm-hmm. And Drew and Portia was trying to finally smear over. I mean, we'll see again later in the episode, they revisit this topic. But again, yes. But in this case, Portia had basically exposed that Drew is dating somebody.
But wait a minute. Before you go further, didn't Portia and Drew meet together at a coffee shop?
Yes, they did.
And didn't Portia get up and walk away again?
Yes, she did.
But Drew, in my opinion, Drew was being argumentative. She
was.
She wasn't allowing Portia to finish what she had to say. Whether that's right or wrong or indifferent, I don't know. I just felt like if you agreed to do it, then sometimes just allow the person to finish their thought, because I wanted to hear what Portia was going to come up with.
Yeah, for real.
But Drew kept cutting her off. That's the way I saw it. You may have not seen it that way, but that is the way I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
If I look at it again, which I wouldn't because it was a boring episode, if I look at it again, maybe I see it differently. So if you see it differently, please let me know. But I just saw it as Drew being very argumentative and Portia being very impatient. Again, her new thing is, I walk off.
Yes,
I walk off. I don't have to deal with this.
Yes.
I walk off.
I already have too much on my plate.
I'll go to the bathroom. I have too much on my plate. I don't have time. Humbug. And walks off.
Yes.
You know, I'm Ebenezer Scrooge's sister. Be gone with thee. That's how I see her.
That is how it feels. However, during this meeting at the coffee shop with Drew and Portia, they both talked about their dating lives, and apparently Portia is dating somebody, but the TV kept bleeping out the person's name.
Right. So
I found that interesting.
And who is Drew dating?
Somebody named Black. I'm not sure if that's his nickname. But Portia,
and she was saying something about you can't bring company to the house.
Mm-hmm. And Drew basically denied the fact that she was dating. She was like, no, I'm not dating that person. And Portia was like, well, if you're dating somebody, wouldn't you want to clear the air with you?
I thought she was still with the girl.
She could be with Todd.
Because she didn't deny that either.
No, she didn't. I think she's keeping it ambiguous. I'm not sure if it was because of her divorce process and she doesn't want to be found dating while going through her divorce. I don't know. But like everybody says on the show, Drew is known to exaggerate the truth.
Well, you know, I feel as though that's why she's a good she's an okay actress.
Yes, an okay actress.
Okay, she's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got to see her in something grand. But for now, I mean, I saw her in TLC. I thought she's okay. I don't want to say she's a good actor until I see her in a big or a series.
Mm-hmm. But
and then I can
landed that.
No, she has not landed anything like that. So I can't give her that, you know, until she, you know, but she keep going the way she's going to get something.
Yes. Now, as the ladies was getting to Grenada, Portia finally get to meet the rest of the ladies. And I don't know what's up with Portia. She's coming in mid-season like she's the big baddest of them all, because she over here talking bad about almost all the girls, calling Angela that she's the oldest looking young person she's met. I don't know what Phaedra is on something coming on this season. This is not the Phaedra I saw off of Atlanta.
What do you mean?
The Phaedra that I saw on different other TV shows, she was funny. She wasn't catty. She wasn't being negative Nancy. But it was like as soon as she comes on to Atlanta, she's ready to talk bad about all the girls that she hasn't met.
She talk bad? Yeah. That's home for her.
You're right. It could be a little bit of her being a bit cocky, being back at Atlanta.
She's just she's at home. You know? Like she said, I'm home.
Yes,
and a lot of these girls I met in some capacity.
Yes, in some capacity. So, yeah, the girls, the people who got to share rooms with each other, Britt and Phaedra, they are sharing a room together. Angela and Portia are sharing a room together. Cynthia and Drew are sharing a room together. And then Kelly and Shamia.
Cynthia and Drew?
Yes, Cynthia and Drew have a room together.
Right. And Kelly and Shamia have a room.
Yes.
And Portia shares a room with
Angela.
But why put them in the same room?
Because Kelly and not Portia, but Kelly and Shamia wants the ladies to break out of their familiar cliques and get to learn somebody new that they're not too familiar with, or if you guys have problems, let's put you in a room so you can get to know each other a little bit better. So that's
I don't want to be on no trip dealing with no foolery stuff like that. I don't need you to be mama and me now. Come on now. I don't need that. No, that's okay. I said I'll go get my own room. I don't want that bad enough. I gotta share. I don't even want to share my space. Okay. So for me, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't put me in a room with somebody. I want my own space.
Yeah. Actually, that is Kelly's whole theme. Reset. I forget the different things.
I look like a grown woman sharing a room with another woman. I can't. No, but I think they have their own bathrooms.
I think so.
I got to sleep in the. I can't. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
However,
I don't know you like that.
Yeah, that is true.
See. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. That I see. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I would say, can I take my room, trade it in? And no, because that would leave it with my roommate. But I would want my own room. I really would. I wouldn't want to share a room with another person that I don't know like that.
Especially if I don't like you either. Or
we got some beef. No, we're a little salty here. No, You know, my ways are different than your ways. There are things I like to do. And with another woman here, you cramping my little piece of vacation. When I want to come and lay down and look at TV or turn on my phone or iPad and I want quiet, I don't want to know another woman can just, no, it wouldn't work for me. I'm sorry.
But at least Angela was a good sport about it because she said that she's cool to be on terms with Portia because her man Charles is at home. So I don't have any problems with Portia right now.
I just wouldn't like it. I would have to get my own room. I would have to know that before we left.
That's true.
And then I would say, no, I'll get whatever. Can you help me get my room? Like whatever. Well, no, because that other person would have their room. So I would just definitely not get that room. I wouldn't. I would have to pay for my own room.
Right.
That would be costly because those rooms look pretty expensive.
Exactly. I think that's why they're not bunking, but sharing rooms together.
No.
And honestly, thinking about it, looking at my notes, I realized a good portion of these women are either going through a divorce or they have a secret boyfriend that they can't talk about. Because not only is Portia apparently dating somebody who we can't even find out his name, and apparently Drew is dating somebody, but she doesn't want to talk about who she's dating. Cynthia has Mr. Amsterdam, who she blurred out his pictures and we can't even see what he looks like.
He had long locks, dark skinned guy.
Yes. I forget how long they've been dating, but I think at least he
from Amsterdam.
Yeah, that's why she calls him
Amsterdam.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Another secret boyfriend that we're not supposed to be knowing about.
Well, she letting us know she's dating. That's good,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, you're right.
You don't have to say his name. His name is Bobby.
And this is what he looks like.
And this is what he looked like. You'll come to know it. Come on, that's too much. He's Mr. Amsterdam. I just want you to know I'm dating a foreigner. A black man from Amsterdam.
At least he makes her happy, so that's good.
Yeah, he makes her happy. Yep. And Portia is dating. My question is, when is Portia not dating?
Or flirting, because she flirted with the chef, asking if he's a good chef. Can he cook her some fried chicken? She said, I'll do strange things for some fried chicken. I was like, oh, God, Portia.
She said that?
Yes, she did.
She's funny, though. She is funny. That's what you call, girl, I'm cute and I know it. I'm cute and I know it. Her butt ain't cute. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. No, I'm sorry.
That's
that awkwardness of it. Is
even the way she walks like it sticks out, and it's
like it look fake. Like, I don't know. I just think her body from the front is beautiful. But when you look at her on the side and when they show her walking, sorry, but I think she's cute. I don't know how I got on her walk or what her butt looked like. It just doesn't look pretty to me.
She's talking about Portia being attractive.
She is attractive in the face. And she dresses well.
Yes, she does.
But they are all thick women to me.
They are all thick.
They all meat. They all carnivores.
Yes, they got meat on them bones.
They got meat. Okay. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, meats and bodies, while they was going to driving over to another villa or mansion that they was going to go have dinner at, Shamia and Phaedra bonded a little bit about the embalming industry and what it's like to run a funeral home. I found that kind of interesting to see Phaedra and Shamia get along a little bit. But also, once they finally got there and was getting ready to have their dinner, Kelly laid it out all on the table. It was just like, you know what, Drew? I think you seem to be having a problem with everybody here but Cynthia. And then that brought us to Portia.
And that's why she gave her and Cynthia the room. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Or that could just been a weird coincidence. No, you're right. They probably definitely planned that one out.
Because she said she didn't give, but that's why I was confused. Why would you put Portia and yeah. Well, you can't put Portia and Drew.
That's true.
But she could have put Portia and Cynthia.
Yeah, she could have. But then if you're trying to make sure everybody gets to meet somebody that they don't know, Portia and Cynthia are...
See, I don't like all that for me. No. Be trying to match make me. Yes. No.
Exactly what it was.
No, that's
you goofy. Don't know her, get to go know her, break the ice.
I don't want to share my space. So, no. No, I'm very private about stuff like that, and you know I am.
Yes, but at this dinner, it was just all downhill as soon as Kelly mentioned that, because Drew, speaking of accountability, did not want to have any accountability for what she did or
was it at dinner that they had this?
Yes, it was at the dinner table.
Right, at the dinner table, but they were going to take their food and go to their rooms and get dressed, no?
That was after.
Okay.
Yes, so
it was Sunday. It's a day ago. So it's getting lax in my memory, but I remember. Okay.
Yes. And basically Drew didn't want to acknowledge. She was just like, well, Shamia started the beef with me. And because this all started because Drew posted at that time a picture calling out Shamia for having imaginary beef with her on some interview. And so Shamia was like trying to make it known to Portia how it hurt her that she called her a lapdog. And she's like, well, wouldn't you be upset or have beef with somebody that called you a lapdog? And then Drew says, it's like, well, I only said that in response to what you took back to Portia. So she didn't want to hold the accountability. Shamia apologized, but I don't even think Drew apologized.
It's just old and
yes.
What else?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Drew says that she doesn't have a problem with Portia. Portia's the one that has a problem with her. However, we did have a breakthrough here. She did acknowledge that she could have texted Portia that she was working with Dennis. So she took accountability on that.
That's good.
That was good. Some progress there. And then, of course, Britt had to enter herself into the conversation, saying, since we're all clearing the air here, I don't want Phaedra to think I have a beef with her because Apollo and his wife was at my party.
Girl, she not married to that man. Phaedra was like, girl, I don't care about what he do. Yes. I ain't petty like that. Shoot, I don't want him. Ew. Don't remind me. Ugh.
That just ruined the mood so much. Everyone was like, what?
She always got to be a part of it. If negative is there, she got to be a part. Even at the table, she had to say, she always have to be. If they having a meeting, she always have to have something to say. She can't just say, I have nothing this time. It's always, let me add to the fire of the flame.
Yes.
We having a deep one. Well, this is what I want to say. And it could just be so corny. You'd be like, you what? It's just like, no, it's like that. What way? Like Portia and Phaedra probably like, girl, I ain't even come to you with that. She has this girl dream things in her mind. She's a part of these dramas in her mind.
Yes.
Because Phaedra was like, that's like, it's embarrassing. Like, girl, I am so over him. Ugh, I can't even. That's how she seems to me.
Mm-hmm.
And with his wife, it's like, oh God. He's like filth. This man is allowed on my property, but he's not even allowed in my home. That lets you know how she feel about him. Where you been, Brett?
Yeah,
Brett, she
Brett.
just don't say nothing.
Yeah, no, that was
maybe,
not
you know, I wouldn't want somebody to keep attaching me to my ex-husband. Girl, we over.
Yes.
We done. He married to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And you still, girl, please get over it. He's married. Yeah. I don't care. Look, whatever he do, I wish him well. I don't
Especially
care
because Atlanta finished after Married to Medicine. And I'm sure Phaedra is so done with Apollo after he tried to
I think she was been done with him.
True.
She's been done with Apollo. She doesn't want him. She divorced him. She doesn't want him. She became afraid of him at one point. You know, no. She is like over him. Ew. And, you know, he's been in prison for years too. What? This girl, she's embarrassed. That's like an ink spot on my record. Ew. A reminder. The only good thing that came out of it is our boys. That's what I think. You know.
Yeah, Britt. No, that was just not it.
And she's always got something to say. She's got to be a part. Just like I said, when Angela was at the table, she had to say something that she got her feelings hurt.
Yes.
When they're at the wine and they was drinking, she had to say. She always got to have something to say in these little dramas in her mind.
Yeah, Britt's a character. Hopefully we don't see Britt next season. That's all I got.
She would be likable.
She could be.
Yes, if she wasn't so drama filled and do stupid stuff like have a dinner and can't afford it. She does dumb stuff.
She do. Oh, Britt. It's hard to feel bad for Britt because she does this to herself.
She just comes off like a sensitive airhead. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's all about me and I'm so sensitive. Mm-hmm. That's just
yeah, okay. That's pretty much what we ended off on.
Could we end off on something more positive than that, huh?
Okay.
Anything. Go back to we can end it. I know we'll end it. We'll end it on. So what do you think about Phaedra and Portia? Do you think Freaking Frack is back? Do you think that they're going to get along?
I'm not sure because I haven't seen their dynamic.
They showed them sitting together talking, I think, last week.
Yes, they do. I do like their chemistry, but I haven't seen what their dynamic was before Phaedra left the show.
Right. Well, from what I don't know. It just seems like Portia vent to her, and I think that maybe that gives Phaedra a point of view how to see things.
It does.
Clearly, it appears, I don't have to be right about this, but it appears that they're already in alignment together.
Yes.
That they formed their alignment, that she's going to be standing on the side of Portia.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it appears to be so far.
Because
but
Phaedra
that
has
could change.
nothing to say about the ladies.
No, I saw her on this talk show, and she had quite a bit to say about the ladies. Some things were good, and some things were catty. You know,
that's Phaedra for you.
That's Phaedra. But like I said, I'm not feeling her. But let's see how she work it. Mm-hmm. So go ahead.
Yeah, that was really pretty much it for this episode. This was day 1 of Grenada / night 1. We'll see because they left us off on a cliffhanger. Apparently we're supposed apparently we're supposed to start next week at the same dinner table.
And they were all doing these commercials all over the place, different couples, groupings. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we'll see. I just want the good stuff. That's 2 weeks of boredom. So I need them to bring me some action. Please. So with that being said, we hope you enjoyed our recap of
Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah, this is our commentary. Tell us what you think. If you have anything you want to add or something you want to say or something we missed or something, please let us know down below. Your
comments
are very much welcome. So with that being said, we thank you for joining us. And again, if you like this our commentary, please give us a thumbs up. It really means a lot. Give us a thumbs up, please. And if you haven't subscribed and you like an esoteric and you like this kind of stuff, then please subscribe. You are welcome to the Sunflower family. And with that being said, you know what we say?
Yes. Sunflowers.